one we have from Chase. Let's address the Cam Taylor-Britt question. Does he take that step forward starting this weekend?
Evan, you start this one off.
You want me to start?
I want you to start this one off.
Okay. I'm gonna get a little wild here, and you guys can answer a little bit more seriously. We know what happens at the end of the year when everyone has time to scheme and time to look and prep and develop a game plan and deviate from their norms to win games in the playoffs. And some of you may kind of hear who I'm talking about in Mike Hilton when he can get picked on. It's happened in the last year and a half or so at times, and you're only going to get less athletic at that position. Mm-hmm. And being a good team player and captain and being still a solid corner who gets picked on by the better teams when you have to win against these better teams is tough. Yeah. So hear me out. Logan, you're my football coach guy, okay? I want you to describe your perfect prototypical NFL slot corner. What do you want out of a slot corner?
I mean, I think it's a little bit dependent on kind of the division and everything. I like how Mike Hilton fits within the AFC
What do you like about Mike Hilton?
I like that he is physical and he can play the run. And
he's physical and can play the run. Tell me, who does that sound like? Who does that sound like?
Sounds like a lot of, it could be a defensive lineman. It could be a linebacker.
Yeah, come on, play my game. Play my game. Who is it?
It could be a lot of things. Sounds like Mike Hilton, man.
Why not move Cam Taylor-Britt there?
Yeah. No.
And the reason I say this is because you get maybe a little bit better at the slot corner position, or maybe you stay the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you get him that experience right now so that when the games matter at the end of the year, when you have a game against the Bills later in the season and you're rushing for that number 1 seed, you can't get picked on like that. And I think putting DJ Turner on the outside where he belongs, I don't think putting him in the slot is the answer. I've heard people float that around as, oh, well, maybe he's the heir apparent for Mike Hilton. I don't. I understand if you want to keep Cam Taylor-Britt at boundary. If Cheeto walks and you don't get a boundary corner, I get it. Putting DJ Turner and Cam out there, that's fine. But if you're talking about who on the corner, who else besides Jalen Davis are you looking at as a potential slot corner option? Man, if I'm trying to get the best 3 corners on the field, I'm probably doing Cheeto, Cam, and DJ Turner.
I mean, I agree. I don't think that's necessarily something we're going to see right away.
I don't think so, but I'm
especially after being named the captain and everything. But in the overarching idea of things, I love that. I think Cam Taylor-Britt is an exceptional, if it comes to a Mike Hilton replacement kind of thing.
He's physical at the line of scrimmage.
He's everything Mike Hilton is, but younger and faster.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean,
maybe not as good of a pass rusher, but I can deal with that losing out on 12 pass rush snaps.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's where my mind is. But go ahead. You talk about Cam Taylor-Britt a little bit. I know you're a big fan of his.
Yeah. I mean, I like Cam. I mean, to Evan's point, I like a lot of the stuff Evan just said as well. I think, we have to see him continue to grow as a boundary corner. I mean, just to see if that's the path they truly want him to take. Maybe it is inside in the slot, but I think he's going to be a hell of a football player. I just think they have to figure out what exactly they want him to be, where he wants to be a hell of a football player at, whether it's a slot, outside, whatever, just doing a little bit of everything. I think he's going to be a good NFL player. I think he has to continue to come into his own and continue to grow into the role and kind of figure out what his identity is. Maybe it's different next year, whatever. But I mean, I expect a solid year from Cam Taylor-Britt. He's an athlete, so he's going to have some flash plays. He's going to have, some crazy interceptions or crazy run stuffs, whatever it is. But he's also, you still got to prepare for the opposite. He's still young. He's going to go for the big play. Like, he's going to give up his fair share of things too. He's going to get picked on like teams try to do at the end of the year, but he's going to grow at the end of the day, and he's going to be a good corner, whether he's a great corner this year or next year, whenever. We'll see. But I like the developmental process of Cam Taylor-Britt. Maybe he doesn't hit that fully this year, but I do think he's going to be good by the time his career is over. He'll be a good corner.
Do you feel like there's less of a negative connotation to playing slot corner?
Yeah.
I feel like there used to be
I agree.
Like, oh, you're a guard and not a tackle. The same way where we kind of still value guys like Zach Martin, Joe Thuney. I kind of feel like people have kind of come to understand the value of a slot corner as the slot receiver has been more prevalent as receivers start to do more work from the slot. And also, I know one thing in the NFL has been a trend of kind of getting bigger slot receivers to help you out with advantages in the run game, to take on smaller slot corners and give yourself a big advantage there with being able to run out of 11 personnel. So I think there's maybe a little bit more value now on the slot cornerback. Well, maybe not than ever, maybe as a couple years ago as teams kind of trend back
Yeah.
toward using more heavy personnel on a regular basis. But I still think slot corner is not something that should be like looked at or scoffed at as anything less important than a boundary corner because of how difficult that ask of a position is. So I thought that was an interesting thought.
For me to give my take on this, I've got to put on my coach's hat, so to speak, or coach's headset. So that's what I'm gonna do here.
Oh,
My
okay.
coach's headset.
Okay, he's getting in the zone right now. He's getting
So,
in the mindset. Some method acting here.
When it comes to a guy like Cam Taylor-Britt, I believe Cam Taylor-Britt is going to have a good season. I know a lot of people think that this guy could be a breakout cornerback candidate. He showed flashes last year. He's a guy that I think that I want to see improve. Definitely from a coverage standpoint.
Yes.
He showed lapses last year at times, but he also showed that he had that dog in him, as Logan likes to say sometimes. And for me, I think Cam Taylor-Britt is a guy that could take the step forward.